Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. Now, why is it not going live? Why is it not going live? There we go. Everyone sorted itself out. That was a bit strange. We had a bit malfunction. There. Let's just see if everything sorted itself out. Yeah, it has. Anyway, good evening and welcome back to the channel. There is a lot of Celtic news to get through tonight. Obviously, the first one, the best, the big one, is this man's coming back to Celtic Park, Mr. Paul McStay. I think that I'm maybe old-fashioned, but when I met his brother a few years ago down in Manchester, I called him Mr. McStay, and I generally did call the ex-players Mr. of that older generation that were older than us, as a pure mark of respect to them and what they achieved at their time at Celtic. And I've got to say, getting Paul McStay back, there'll be absolutely thousands and thousands of fans. I just wish I'd came back for it. There'll be thousands of fans will be outside Celtic Park to see Mr. McStay bring that trophy into paradise and raise the flag once again. Yes, we are champions once again. And that is it. But as well as that, there is a little bit... There's something else that's quite poignant this season. And I never really thought about it until today. And it just shows you this was a keyring. This was a keyring that I've had for such a long time, and it broke. The heat over here broke the leather. I'll just put that up there. 10 years. 10 years Green Brigade. This year, it's 20 years Green Brigade, and the Green Brigade do have a tifo. Yep, as we unfurl the flag on Sunday as a celebration of last season's triumph and a statement of intent for the coming season. In the memory of two Celtic giants will be at the forefront. Before the march, there will be a tifo encompassing the entire Lisbon Lions stand. We kindly ask that all fans raise their material as the team emerges from the tunnel. We also ask for patience and understanding of the fans whose views will be restricted by the banners throughout the tifo. For the second half, there will also be a tifo in the North Curve. Importantly, we ask all fans in the North Curve to keep and reuse the material from the first tifo for the second one. As always, we like to thank fans for their cooperation and for helping us to mark special moments for our legends, their families, our club, and the fans. 20 years Green Brigade. Unbelievable. Yep. 20 years. And if they're doing new ones of these, if they're doing the 20-year edition, I'm going to make sure somebody gets one on. Because there's not many of them going about, I tell you that. The 10-year edition one. Anyway, good times and good memories in 111. Absolutely fantastic times. So yeah, Paul McStay returns to paradise, which will be absolutely fantastic. Celtic said. It says, for the fourth consecutive season, Celtic Park will be packed to the rafters for Flag Day on Sunday. The finest team in Scotland, Celtic celebrate another league title, the 55th in the club's history. Ahead of Flag Day celebrations, the club is delighted to announce that the maestro, Mr. Paul McStay, will return to his beloved paradise this weekend to unfurl the flag of the champions as we kick off the 2025-26 season. Paul spent 16 years in the green and white from the early 80s to the mid-1990s, establishing himself as one of the finest players to ever have graced the hoops. He was faithful through and through. He was. And you would never have thought that we would have someone like him in James Forrest in our modern time. Having players being a one-club player is a bygone thing. And at his time at Celtic, saw him rack up almost 700 appearances across all competitions, and which makes him one of the highest appearing Celtic players of all time. Throughout the years, Paul helped the club to 8 major honours, including the iconic Scottish Cup double in the centenary year, 87-88. What a summer 1988 was. That day at Hampden, the sun absolutely splitting the sky against Dundee United, and Celtic do the double in a time where doubles were hard to come by. Yes, it was a time where you had Aberdeen, you had Dundee United as going to head as the new firm. You had Rangers were way down the league positions, and you had Aberdeen, Dundee United going for it in a European context, and also had Aberdeen, Dundee United winning the league around that time. But anyway, we move on. In 1995, the Maestro approaching the end of his career, captained Tommy Burnside to Scottish Cup glory, ending a 6 years trophy drought, paving the way for a new era at the club. And it was in that day, that game, I was standing in a bar in Ibiza, and I fell to my knees and raised my hands to the air in pure elation that we had won that game. I can remember it as if it was yesterday, and I was just raging at the time that I was in Ibiza. But it was a fantastic memory, and one that will stay with me forever. You always felt that in the tough times that he was at Celtic, you thought, there's always one player that could produce that magic, and it was Paul McStay. To have met him was a privilege. It was an absolute privilege to see him train on the pitch after training, to see him doing sprints up and down the side of the pitch when everyone else had finished training was just unbelievable, and it showed you the type of man and player that he was, that his dedication to Celtic was second to none. Absolutely second to none at the time. And honestly, what a memory, what a player, what a legend. And we move on from Paul McStay, the Celtic chief scouts, and other Celtic news this evening. Let me just change the screen up and get Victor. This guy, we have sent our chief scout and football doctor. Paul Tisdale flies to Belgium to watch a game tonight, to watch Victor play. It is another defender that Celtic are going after. I have been saying for a number of weeks now that I do expect Celtic to bring in 5 players. One comes in for a medical tomorrow. One comes in for a medical tomorrow. A player on loan from Manchester United, Victor Eriksson. Will he be the £2 million signing in the next week or so? Will he get the nod by Tisdale? Yep, he's good enough. And will Celtic rush that deal through as quick as possible to make sure that we've got the players in and ready to be notified by UEFA that they're in the Champions League squad? Anyway, I think that it's you're going to start to see things heat up, and I'm absolutely buzzing for the season ahead now. The fact that Jamal Simpson comes in and gets his medical tomorrow for a year's long loan deal. That Paul Tisdale is in Belgium tonight to watch Victor Eriksson, the 24-year-old centre-back, will play tonight in a Europa Conference second round qualifying round. He's had some career, the young lad. He was in 21 appearances last season. He actually went to America. He started his life off, he's quite tall, 1.92 metres tall. He can play both positions at centre-back. Is he the one that will ultimately come in to replace Cameron Carter-Vickers in time? We will know. He's contracted with the club until 2028, but he's valued at £2 million, and Celtic want to get the deal done. If they're sending Tisdale, they want to get the deal done. That's a definite. I think that sending him over there is a way of putting a little bit of pressure on the people upstairs that we need to get moving, and we need to get moving fast. For me, I'm buzzing that if this guy comes in, we do need a little bit of backup in the defensive areas. Stephen Welsh will be leaving the club. A lot of people will say thank goodness, and he'll come in to make up the numbers. I did say that we would sign 5 players. I think that we're going to sign 2 defenders, a defensive midfield player, and 2 wingers. I can't see Celtic bringing in another striker now. I think that Celtic will go into the season with Shin Yamada, Adam Ida, and Callum Osborne as the strikers at Celtic. It looks like Johnny Kenny may sign a new contract and be put out on loan for the season. He's a long-term replacement for Adam Ida when he's finally pushed on out the door. It's not going to be this season though, even though it doesn't matter what someone says. Hope he's as good as Lagerbielke. Well, I'm not making a t-shirt for him, that's one thing, Square Sausage Mick, because that was the kiss of death, wasn't it? 6'4". Yeah, I know he's 6'4". He looks a good bit of machine. Do you know, he looks a good player, and he's got that. If he's got that wee mean streak in him, maybe something that Lagerbielke was missing. I think he could be a good addition to the club, and it looks like that Celtic are finally under Paul Tisdale. Is there anywhere we could see that game? The only place you would see it, would be Vitbox. I think you'd maybe see it on Vitbox. Who's got a terrible attitude? This is Ozzy Osbourne buzz. What are you talking about in the chat? Honestly. Anyway, so Victor comes into the club. The Green Brigade celebrate 20 years, and I wonder if they'll do a tifo for their 20 years. But not all, just a bit of other Celtic stuff that was going around. If I could just find it. It's this one here. Scott Brown. Scott Brown has been talking to the BBC. You'll find this interesting as long as it comes
Best
through.
player played with?
Played with Rafa. Like, I really wouldn't have messed with Rafa other than night, but sorry, big man. I apologise for your wrongdoing.
That was Scott Brown talking about his time at Celtic, and talking about players that were ultimately bonkers, to say the least. It's good that Scott Brown still reminisces about his time at Celtic. Talking about his time. So yeah, it's good that Scott Brown still does. Tony Watt must hold the record for the most Scottish clubs played at. Yep. I wonder. He must have. He must have played for some amount of clubs. But anyway, and he will always be remembered for that goal against Barcelona. An absolutely fantastic goal against Barcelona that he did do. So that is it for your Celtic news tonight. Celtic, let me just see. No, that's it for tonight. It looks like that they'll obviously get the player in tomorrow. Paul Tisdale, I wonder if he will actually give the manager some good news this window and be a player that we can get in as defence. No poll tonight, just a quick one, in and out as they say. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.